Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. So, I'm Cynthia, and I'm the host of the reality series, CPS Horror Stories. I'm not a social worker or an attorney, but I am a mother who had her children kidnapped by CPS in 2016. And after fighting for 2 years, I did get my kids back in 2018. Each of the families that I interview have a horrific story that needs to be heard by others to understand the devastation and corruption that is done by the Department of Child Protective Services. So, Alesha, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell me where you're from, tell me about your kids and what you do and all of that.
My name is Alesha Sanchez. I'm 35. I'm from Fremont, Ohio, Sandusky County. I have my daughter. She's 20 months old. She'll be 2 in November. Um, she's like the best thing ever. I encountered a situation. My experience with children's services, unfortunately, has been from the beginning. Like, basically what I can prove now, like enduring everything since I've been pregnant all the way until my daughter, as of today, that I wasn't supposed to be a mom. I was set up from the beginning with CPS and from the county I'm from and the town I'm from. With political and politics, I have a family member that's got a lot of power here in this town and basically makes all the decisions. And with me having him as a family member, he tries to control my life. So basically, I don't get to live my own life as a 35-year-old mother or family member or just a citizen to this town. So because he pulls all the strings, I've been enduring severe corruption for a long time, and I didn't understand. Like, I didn't catch on at first, because who would even think that? I never knew the severity to children's services. I didn't understand that they had this much power. I was like, always, I didn't have kids, so I was wild. So I didn't ever have to think about being a mother. I was never a mother, I was like always just me. And I was the one that I could drink if I wanted to drink. I could go leave town for a week if I wanted to. So I didn't have these responsibilities. So adjusting as a mother when I very first had my daughter it wasn't hard because I loved my daughter. It was just new. Everything was new for me, being a mother to not being a mother. Right. Especially at my age. Like, I was 33 when I had my daughter. I turned 30. I was almost close to 34. So like this is a new life. So it was scary for me. I was experiencing some like anxiety, because when you're this age, you already think about life and like where you ended up from high school. Like, everything just hits you. Like, so I didn't feel like I was educated enough. I didn't feel like I was where I should have been being a mom. So I put all that into like goals. So within 1 year after having my daughter, I ended up like getting my own apartment on my own. I did a lot. Okay. So from the beginning, from the hospital, let me go back. So from the beginning, from the hospital, I wasn't supposed to be a mother. They, children's services were called instantly in to come in from the hospital. When I was younger, I had surgery. I wasn't supposed to have kids. I was told my whole life I wasn't supposed to have kids. It was to the point when I did find out I was pregnant, I was like 4 months pregnant, close to maybe 5. I think I was like 24 weeks, 26 weeks. So I was partier. I used to have an addiction to oxycodone and cocaine. So when I didn't know I was pregnant, I would have never thought I could have kids. So I never thought to like check to see if I was pregnant. Yeah. So then when I thought, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, yeah,
it was hard. So then when I did find out I was pregnant, I was already 4 months, and I was unfortunately had an addiction on oxycodone, which it wasn't a severe addiction, but it was an addiction to where I couldn't just quit. So then when I found out I was pregnant, I was going to the doctor. Well, they wanted me to take what's that called? Subutex or Suboxone, something like that. Well, I disagreed with them because I didn't feel my addiction was as strong as to where to get put on something like that, because I always educate myself to everything before I make a decision. And that was like way worse than what I was initially doing. So because I disagreed with the doctors and their decision, I chose the wean myself off, being I think I was taking at that time I was taking like between 30 maybe to 45 milligrams a day. So I long story short, I weaned myself off within probably, I want to say like a month and a half, maybe 2, but more a month and a half. And I got off them by myself. I come from a dysfunctional family, and I didn't know at the time that my family was this dysfunctional, being I wasn't healthy because I was always out partying growing up. I never had responsibilities. I didn't care to sit and pay attention to them. I had my own life. So then I ended up in a situation where I wanted to leave my ex because I feel like he had a personality disorder, and I was just surrounded by like unhealthy people my whole life, and I didn't know that. So it made me act out. So I had a lot of problems growing up because I didn't know I was unhealthy, surrounded by unhealthy family members, as well as men I was dating or just friends, peers. So when I got pregnant, it was hard for me to accept, to love, or to even know how to be a mom. That was like the worst. Guilt, because I didn't even know how to love my baby being pregnant because of like the dysfunction I endured growing up. So then like staying sober wasn't hard, but then I had like peers like trying to pressure me, so I had to cut them off. So I did have a couple relapses during the time, not many, maybe I'd say probably 2. And but now that I figured everything out on what was going on, I'm not gonna say, I can't blame nobody for why I did the relapses, but I was being set up. Like I was being set up by people to where I was supposed to go have my daughter and to where she was supposed to test positive so they could take her from me off the rip. I didn't know that. So then when I went to go have my daughter, the doctor made me go, I think it's 42 weeks is the most you can go. I want 42 weeks to the day, to where they couldn't wait. They had to get my daughter out of me. I think 1 more hour, they would have had to rush me into emergency surgery to C-section me because they waited the very last second to the minute of the 42. Again, I didn't know nothing because I was a new mom. I don't know 37 weeks, 38. I didn't know none of that. So I wasn't like paying attention to I was being set up. So then I had my daughter, long story short, I had my daughter. I had to go in on a Monday and they had to induce me. So from Monday morning at 8 o'clock till Tuesday night at 9, I finally got my daughter out and I had her. So then, obviously they tell you as a mother, when you go have a daughter or when you go have a baby, if you test positive for drugs and all that, then they'll take your kid. If it tests positive, they take your child. Right. So I was well aware of that. So then when, next thing I know, CPS comes the next day. And again, I know like criminal laws. I've been involved with that, but I wasn't like experienced to what these people were. I didn't know being honest is the worst thing you could do. Is basically what it is. And I've always been a very genuine, honest person. Like it's hard for me to just lie. I just don't lie. So I was honest with the lady. I told her, I wasn't supposed to have kids. Long story short, I was wild. I was a partier. And it was like, I did get sober. And like not once do they commend you for the effort you put in, like coming off all these drugs. And people don't realize the severity, especially coming off opiates, how hard it is, let alone on your own. And not doing it with Suboxone. If I was a drug addict, I would have took the Suboxone. I didn't. I did it all by myself and educated myself to do it by myself. So then, long story short, I was just an honest person. Well, she was like asking me like how much would I use when I did use. And I told her, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not an everyday user. I'm not your typical drug addict. So she's like, all right, I'm going to take all this information. I'll be back. She came back the next day and she's like, well, we're going to build a case on you. My supervisor said, because you're minimizing. I said, what's that mean? Like, how am I minimizing? She's like, well, because I asked you how much you use. And you said just sometimes it could be this, like a little amount and sometimes a lot. I said, well, that's the truth. How is that minimizing? I mean, I don't just use a specific amount each time. That's not how it works.
You're sometimes like, let me get my pocket journal and see how much I took.
Right. I mean, one day I might be at a party. Somebody might offer me something. I don't know. Like, right. I don't just plan to wake up every day and say, okay, I got $50. That ain't how it works when you're in active addiction. Sometimes you don't even got money. Sometimes you just end up with money. So that's why they played me. Again, I'm very smart to my constitution and, You know what I mean? But at the time, I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to start my life over new. No court systems, none of that. Excuse me. I just wanted to be a good mom because when my daughter came, it was a love that I never felt. And I knew instantly that I loved my baby. And I never had that feeling the whole time I was pregnant because I didn't know what was going on. So I wanted to be a good mom. So I just went with it. I was honest. Even though I knew they were lying on me, the lady tried to say, eventually she just kept telling me lies. Leaving the hospital, I was allowed to be around my daughter, but there was restrictions. She had to go stay at my mother's. I wasn't allowed to live at my mother's, but I could go visit my daughter from like, I think 10 to 6 she gave me. And then she said, as I would start taking drug tests, they would extend that time with my kid. I wasn't allowed to leave by myself with her. My mom basically had to babysit me and my kid. So then, long story short, instantly from the time I left the hospital, I set everything up with tasks. That's the drug test place, counseling. Like I rushed it because I really wanted to be with my baby and spend time with her. So then I passed drug tests from the time I left that hospital. I passed drug tests, never failed, not one. I completed the whole program to task, which was a 4 to 5 month program with high recommendations, letters. I completed counseling, drug and alcohol therapy with high recommendation letters. And then from the time she would say she would give me more time, as time, she'd get more persistent, clean drug tests. Well, I was almost done with tasks. I was almost done with court to win my kid back. And I was still on a 10 to 6 restriction. They tried their hardest to sabotage me, to not get my kid. Knowing the hard work I put into this, knowing they didn't even really have a case on me. The social worker lied and stated I admitted using to her the day I gave birth. That's how sick it was that they were setting me up. I caught on, but by the time I caught on to the lies, I started to catch on what was going on. I only had like less than a month to complete these programs, and then I got CPS out of my life. Okay, so the lady that was the guardian ad litem, I told her, I even told my counselor, I said, they're lying on me. I mean, that don't even make sense because my kid didn't test positive. If I would have used the day I gave birth, my daughter would have been a positive drug baby, okay? So right. They just tried their hardest to sabotage me. Well, they couldn't. Well, I got them out of my life. I think my daughter was born November 27th, so I got them out of my life in like mid-April. Well, they were upset. I don't know. Well, this is where I started to catch on. Well, I beat them, got them out of my life. The judge in our county even congratulated me because he stated that they don't get cases like that where mothers get CPS out of their life and win their kids back, I guess, in this county. That broke my heart. It actually made me cry because I didn't need it rewarded for doing what I was supposed to do. So to know that the odds are against mothers because of their addictions, it's very sad. So just knowing the lies these people put me through and to know how it feels to be a drug addict, it's sad that they do that to these girls because it's no different than a man preying on a vulnerable woman when she really just wants to be loved. That's what these people do. They're predators. So I'm like not the one you can bully though. So I didn't care. They didn't intimidate me. I did what I had to do. I got them out of my life. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, boom. So again, I just moved on with my life, So after a year of my daughter being born, this is when my second encounter came. My daughter's not even 2, and I got 3 situations with CPS. I can't even tell you 3 cases because this is the severity to how corrupt they are. So I got them out of my life the first time. So then after a year, in November, literally a year, I set goals. I got my own apartment for me and my daughter, being I didn't want to be with her dad, and I didn't want to live at where I was living with family members because of the dysfunction. But when I got sober and was doing the counseling, I started to learn dysfunctions, personality disorders, stuff I never was educated to as a young woman. And that's serious. You need to be educated to that because that plays a big role in your adulthood. So I'm starting to learn what, like, the unhealthiness, why I was like behaving the way I was. So then I didn't want to be like that, and I didn't want my daughter raised like that. So I got my own apartment. December 1st was a Sunday. I got my key, I want to say like maybe a Friday. So 2 days before December 1st would have been November 20 something, whatever. So I didn't stay here. I got my key on a Friday. I didn't stay that Friday. I was having like, I was encountering some personality disorders, and I didn't know at the time the severity to it. So they were trying their hardest to sabotage me. So I didn't have no help. And by this time, like, I was such a good mom. I didn't have friends. I didn't even have a cell phone because I didn't want to associate with that life. I wasn't even going to let it trigger me. So I just completely shut that part of my life off to start this new life with me and my daughter. So it ain't like I had like a whole bunch of peers or anybody that could help me or even come visit me or even know my business. Okay. At this time, it was just me and my daughter. That's all I cared about. So then I got my key on a Friday. I didn't stay here. So then Saturday came. I didn't have no help. So I called my child's father, which sometimes we can, work together. You know, he's like, we can be co-parents if people would stay out of our business. And like, now I see the severity of who the people were that were sabotaging me and him to be good parents. He helped me. I moved my bed and my TV in my apartment that Saturday night at 8:00 we got here. And then I moved all my daughter's things. That's all I moved in my new apartment with. I never looked back. Okay. I built it from there. I started over and didn't ask for nobody's help. Didn't want nobody's help because I wanted to prove to my daughter that I could be a good mother. Therefore,
your stuff.
Excuse me?
Did you get your stuff?
I never went back. I started over.
So
from a bed and a TV. I didn't go back. Oh, this is what I know now. Again, yeah. I didn't really know the severity to all these disorders. So I was just always painted like I was the bad one. I was the scapegoat. So, I mean, I'm like the type of person I'm not ashamed of who I was. If I didn't go through everything I endured in my life, I wouldn't be as intelligent and smart as I am today. So I like appreciate my life. I don't play victim because I wouldn't be smart. Like, you got to go through life struggles and you got to go be the mess up or the troublemaker to understand life. Like, I'm not judgmental. Like, I'm a very good, genuine, honest person. And that's why people don't like me. Like, I lived it. I lived the worst and I lived the best. And I respect everybody. Being the town I'm from, because of my political family member, I'm very always in the spotlight. And see, I don't like that. I don't like attention. So like, I always shelter myself now because I don't want to be known because I've always been popular even before my sibling, but I just don't like that. I don't want people to know, like, hey, I hate going to the store and I can't even get my bread and go, you know, I just don't like that. So I'm like to stay to myself. I don't like attention. I hate it. So when I moved in here that Saturday night, again, just with my bed and my TV, literally nothing in here. By that Sunday morning, I want to say about 11, there was a knock at my door. No, I don't even got friends by this time, ma'am. I didn't tell my family where I was moving because that's who I didn't turn back. So I was like, it was either the police. I thought it was the police or like the landlord. Maybe something happened. They needed to get in this apartment. So then I answered the door, CPS. So again, I always put in the back of my head how they played me that first time and lied on me and built that case on me. So I wasn't the boo-boo, the fool the second time. I wasn't going to let them come here and then make me talk to them and I wasn't being honest no more. So I flexed on them and I like my Fifth Amendment. I did my amendments on them. So she introduced herself. She just came in my house. She didn't have a warrant. I didn't invite her in because I recorded. She didn't know from the time I opened my front door. I was recording. She didn't know. So I let her say her little allegations, which I'm not going to get specific because I don't have a case for this, but they're forging my records because I won't tell them what's on this video. And what they did to me is not only against my rights, they did some federal, they kidnapped my kid. So when I let her in, she stated her allegations. Again, I debunked them. I debunked them. She had no, I don't know how children's services still operate, being how I was in the hospital with my first encounter with them. So I don't know, what do they do after I debunked the allegations? I thought, don't you leave or, have a good day, Alesha. That's all we came to ask you is what I thought. No, not her. So I debunked her allegations. So she just starts going through my house, searching my stuff. So I'm just recording her. There wasn't nothing in here, so I didn't care. But at the end of the day, you didn't have no warrant to get in my house. But these people didn't know at that time that I knew my rights, okay? Like, because everybody always labeled me the troublemaker, the notepad. So that's not my problem. That's what you assumed who I was. So I'm just recording the whole thing. So then I'm catching on, like, she's here to kidnap my kid. Like, she shouldn't even be here. Like, I debunked these allegations. So she comes up to me. She's like, after she searches and goes through my house, because she knew there wasn't nothing here for her to find, she's like, I need you to take a drug test. I said, I'm not taking a drug test. She was like, why won't you test for me? You must be dirty because you won't test for me. I said, well, if you think I'm dirty, I guess I'm dirty. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm busy. You got to go. I said, and then she was like, why need you to sign these papers? I said, I'm not signing your paperwork. She was like, I don't, like, she just kept like trying to force me to do stuff I knew I didn't have to do. So when she seen that she wasn't intimidating me, again, I was still recording. She was like, well, I'll be right back. I got to make a call. Why is the supervisor calling another supervisor? Like, I'm not the only one in Sandusky County that refuses drug tests or case plans, you know what I mean? I just knew it wasn't right. So I hurry up and sneak in the other room while she steps aside and just walks to my house and goes into my daughter's room and makes a call. I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, you need to get here. CPS is here to try to kidnap my kid again. So she didn't know I called my mom. So my mom must have been flying over. So she comes out of the room and she's like just telling me, like, why won't you test for me? You must be dirty. If you weren't dirty, you would just test. So like, she was already violating my amendment. She'd already violated probably 3 amendments by this time. So then my mom comes walking in. Well, I don't think she was expecting that. Again, I'm still recording. So my mom was like, what's going on? What's the allegations or whatnot? And then by this time she's on the phone with her, the other supervisor. Well, the other supervisor who she called, that's the one who's been coming for me. I don't know these girls. So then I used to be wild. So I'm thinking, like, did I fight one of these girls? Or like when I was younger, you know, that like somebody's hating on me. Because these are all false allegations. Because for one, I don't even hang with nobody for anybody to even call and make an allegation on me. And if they are, they're fake. And then plus I didn't stay here. So the allegations that she said weren't impossible. They couldn't even make it up if they wanted to place me in this apartment because I wasn't here that day. They stated everything went down. So then she's on the phone with the one that's been out to get me. So I don't know what she was saying. I could just hear the one that was here. She's like, oh, she won't test for me. So the lady must have said, why not? She said, because she says she don't have nothing to prove. And then she just was talking, telling her, and she won't sign a case plan. So I said, I'll test, but I'm not testing for you. I'll go test somewhere else where I want to pick tomorrow. I just ain't taking your drug test, is what I told her. So then she was like, and she won't sign no plan. So then after that, she lied. She's getting ready to start lying. That lying is what they thought they were going to do, is lie on me, take my kid, and go lie to a judge. She didn't know I was recording. So I can't repeat what she said, but she said some other things. Well, the one comment she made was that I was going to get an attorney and sue. And then I thought it was funny because everybody that knows me in this town or in this county, being I was always in trouble when I was younger, I always tell people I am an attorney. Like, I represent myself. When I go to court, I've always represented myself. I'm very smart to my constitution and my laws. Being I was always this kid in trouble growing up. So she didn't know that. So when she said that, that's when I was like, oh no, lady, I've been recording. I've been recording you since you walked through my front door. She about pooped her pants, okay? So when I said that, so then my mom's like, what's your allegations again? I said, Mom, she already said. So then after that, she was like, she's on the phone with that supervisor still. Why is she still on the phone in my house with the supervisor? Like, she, like, you already, like, I don't get it. She made herself look stupid. So then she's like, I can't hear her. And then walks out of my room and then goes and walks into my daughter's room. She should have got out of my house.
Yeah.
I asked her to call the judge 3 times when about my drug test. I said, call the judge. I'm tired of you guys harassing. I knew it wasn't right because I knew it wasn't right that first time because they lied on me. I didn't use that day I gave birth to my daughter. They were lying. So when they came the second time, they thought I was going to be that dummy and just be honest. And so then they were trying to come up with any type of way to take my kid. They were trying to kidnap my kid is what they were doing because she should have never been here. So then I'm in the kitchen talking to my mom. She comes out and she's like to my mom, so I can't say everything. Basically, long story short, she made my mother take my daughter from me. Told my mother not to let me see my daughter until I went and took that drug test to keep my daughter away from me. It's not me volunteering my daughter to go with my mother.
She can't do that.
Okay, right. But at the end of the day, it was a Sunday. So I knew it wasn't right. So I just let it go down that way. I just let it go down because I was scared that if I would have said something, they were going to come back and take her to foster care. So I knew, like, I didn't agree to it, and definitely did not want that, because since my daughter was born, my daughter's never left my sight until that day they made my mom leave with my kid. That was the first night I was ever away from my daughter in that whole year. So my mom, she left. She made my mom take my daughter, told my mom not to let me have her. So then I knew what they were doing wasn't right. So like I said, I just wanted them out of my house. So I was scared if I would have went back that night and got my daughter, that they would, I don't know, I was scared. By this time I was scared. She came in my house without warrants. She searched my house without a warrant. She tried to force me to do things without a warrant, and she took my kid without a warrant. So why wouldn't I be scared? I'm not new to it.
I get it. I do have a quick question. I have a question. When she knocked on your door that day, how did she get in? Did you invite her in, or did she ask to come in?
No. It was just kind of, I opened the door and she just walked in. And I was recording again. Like I said, I didn't want to initiate a fight or a confrontation, being my daughter was so young. And I knew they didn't, I knew what I was doing. See, she did, like, you know how you go rob a bank, you don't get caught, you come back, you get caught. That's exactly what happened. So when I knew what they did that time was illegal and what they were doing to me, that's how I caught on to the first time that they lied on me and placed false evidence on me and planned a case. Okay, it gets worse. So because she did what
sorry, she didn't have a warrant, correct?
Mm-mm. And still didn't call the judge.
Where was your daughter? Because you said she kept going in her room and stuff. Where was she?
Well, I was in my room, and she walked, when she said, "Can you guys be quiet? I can't hear her." She walked in my daughter's room. My daughter was in the hallway to both rooms.
Was she playing or something?
I believe, like, when she first came, my daughter was upset. She was crying because I couldn't tend to my daughter because I had to sit here and talk allegations and let her search for drugs or whatever she was looking for.
And you said that you can't tell us what the allegations were, or it doesn't even matter?
I can tell you what the allegations were. Oh yeah, I can tell you now because I got so much evidence on them that I can prove nobody even caught and made an allegation on me, because the allegations changed 3 times. No allegations should change. 3 different. When I say I'm very smart to my Constitution, man, I'm very smart.
Yeah.
I recorded everything.
It sounds like.
Okay, so when the allegation was that I had a house party with a whole bunch of people here, drinking a whole bunch of alcohol with doing a whole bunch of drugs on the counter. Didn't specify a drug. She said lines. So I said, ma'am, for one, I'm going to debunk your allegation, because for one, I don't have no friends. That 1-year-old's my only friend. I said, 2, I don't drink alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in probably almost 2 years. I said, and for 3, I said, do you see my countertops? Do you see any lines? She said no. And then that's when I said, okay, I debunked your allegation. What's next? So that's when she started searching my house.
Got it.
So I followed behind her recording.
Got it.
So that's the video they want. They want this video bad, okay?
Why do they to get like?
Because they want me bad. Like, they tried their hardest to break me down. And I'm still not breaking, because they done messed up to where not only do I got them, I got the whole county that's been doing corruption, abusing me, denying me my rights, letting me get serious felony offenses done to me because of that one video. I didn't figure it out until now, after all this happened. The chief of police in our town and this supervisor are first cousins. Well, they didn't think I was going to be smart enough to figure it out. Well, I did. So not only was I enduring severe harassment, abuse, corruption from this CPS out here, I was enduring it from this police station of ours. Well, the political family member allowed all these people to do this to me. After that lady left and they found out I had a case, or I had that video, she didn't take my information. She didn't take my kids' information. She panicked made my mother take my kid and never came back. Never called me. Nobody. Just left. So the next day, or maybe a day later, I think the next day, it's been so long, I went right back and took my kid right back and brought her home because I knew what she did was illegal. Well, do you think they cared? That I was this big dope head to where they took my kid from me to where I couldn't be a mother because I was so unfit? Do you think they came back and checked on my daughter?
No.
No, because the princess had to cover her butt because she knew I had the video to take her out. Which she thought they thought I was dumb. They thought they were gonna hush it. They thought I was gonna go out to the agency and like make a complaint on them. I come from a political family. I know how everybody sticks together, hush hush, and then try to blame me. So I didn't. So because I didn't go make a complaint, they couldn't initiate. It didn't happen. If you don't complain about it, it didn't happen. So what I did was I assumed at the time it was my ex and his family that made a false allegation on me. So I went and filed an emergency domestic restraining order. So while she thought I was taking that drug test the next morning, I was up there getting 2 emergency domestic restraining orders on my ex, being he was the only one that knew where I was moving to. Right. So part of my allegation was he made a false allegation on me to CPS, and I want him arrested, and I want this restraining order granted. So during that time, the 10 days where you gotta like get your evidence to prove he's got his chance to come fight me in court, I had to get the allegation to prove to the judge what I was alleging. So this is where I encountered CPS was corrupt, and they do what they want. I called out there from the time that was the next day was a Monday because she came Sunday. And then like everybody I talked to said, who comes to somebody's house on a Sunday and removes a child over allegations that they can't prove? Right. So I didn't know. Again, this is where I'm starting to learn my laws and my everything I needed to know from CPS. I became professional to these laws now. So I wasn't worried about it because like I told her, they'll go get a court order. If they want me to do whatever they want, when they come with the warrant, okay. They never called me. So the next day when I'm getting the restraining order against my ex, accusing him of something he didn't do, they were calling my mom. They couldn't call me because she never took my information. But then again, I'm this big drug addict, this big unfit mother, and you can't even contact me because you panicked. So they told my mom, hey, Pat, where's Alesha? We need to come pick her up because we're going to pay for her drug test and we want to drive her there.
But they got your mom's information?
I'm just telling you what I remember.
Yeah.
I never seen them take my mom's information. Oh, it gets worse. I'm going to tell you that part too. Assuming it was my ex, remember?
Right.
So anyways, they're calling my mom's house that next morning, bright and early, this supervisor that's been coming for me. So again, I don't know what she thought. She wasn't coming to pick me up because I didn't even get in police cars voluntarily when I was younger. So this lady was just harassing me at this time. Okay, so that's how she's already letting me know. I said, well, if she wants to come pick me up, go get the warrant. Then she can come pick me up. So then, again, they kept calling my mom, harassing her, and I kept telling my mom, I don't care, but I'm coming to get my daughter. Like, they can't keep my daughter from me. So long story short, I went and picked my daughter up, brought her back home. CPS never came back, never contacted me, nothing. Well, I think they thought just because I think they thought I was gonna be like, okay, good. Like I was gonna be scared or something. They didn't know about me. I think I'm the one and only, like they're not used to meeting somebody like me that I'm not scared. Like you're not gonna bully me. So I started calling them. I needed my allegation to prove to this judge to get this restraining order. So when the first time I reached out, everything I have recorded. I have probably over 100 videos now. But when I first reached out, which was the following week, I was getting hung up on. I was getting refused I asked to file complaints. They refused me. I asked to speak to supervisors, being this was 2 supervisors who did this to me. I just asked to talk to somebody, communicate. Nothing. They were so rude to me. They was hanging up on me, like telling me that I need to speak to some lady that wasn't even, they was so bad. They tried to cover it up from the supervisor. They tried to make me gaslight me to believe that some other lady was my case manager that was the one doing this. I never even knew who this lady was, never seen her a day in my life. So then they kept telling me to ask for this lady. And I'm like, well, why am I asking for this lady when these 2 are the ones that took my kid they're the ones who kidnapped my kid. So then, like I said, they wouldn't nobody get on the phone. I kept calling. I got so many videos, and this is where it comes in to where now they want to know what I got on these videos. I'm not telling them. They don't know what to put in my reports because I recorded them so good. Every conversation, they're forging my records. That's why they're not giving me my records. Videos. And so it comes in to where now they want to know what I got on these videos. I'm not telling them. They don't know what to put in my reports because I recorded them so good. Every conversation, they're forging my records. That's why they're not giving me my records. Videos. And so it comes in to where now they want to know what I got. So I still had to go to court though, man. Again, I didn't come out there to file the complaint on them, and this is why. So when I was doing that restraining order, I didn't go file a complaint because they were just going to hide behind attorneys. I subpoenaed them as my witnesses. As long as they're my witness, they can't hide behind an attorney. So I subpoenaed them to this trial for the restraining order. Why are they trying to help me and my daughter? Let's just say, now I know it's not my ex, but let's just say that I was this victim of domestic violence, knowing the truth now, because back then in my mind, I was this victim of domestic violence to my ex, because that's the only person I could prove the evidence on at the time. So what if I was this victim that I was claiming? Why wouldn't they work with me to help me and my daughter? They're supposed to help us from violence, right? No, they ignored us. I subpoenaed 5 women, 5 supervisors out from this place, because it's 5 of them. They're the fabulous 5, and they go and bully people. Well, I subpoenaed them bullies. 1 showed up. The one that showed up, I don't even know who she is. That's who they tried to take the fall for it. So she perjurized, of course, because she didn't even know what was going on. I locked her into a statement though. So police officers, I subpoenaed 36 people in this town to lock them into statements, because I know how people like the lines stick together. So then, long story short, they never came back, ma'am. But still, I had this case open on me. So I was just confused. Like by this time, I was just in disbelief. Like, how don't you just come back? So it's starting to make me upset that you people can just come in my house when you want, kidnap my kid with no warrant. How do you think I lived after that day, knowing that these government agencies can just come in your house because they can? So it was starting to boost fear in me. Like that's when it started to play like a psychological role in my mind, because I already know how the corrupt court system is being criminalized. So I'm not new to this political corruption stuff. So I was scared. I was scared to go to sleep at night from then on out. I was scared they were going to come in because they knew I had evidence now. It was coming in without evidence. What were they going to do to me now? So then I started getting encounters with the police where I'm from, to where they were protecting each other. The chief and this girl are first cousins. I didn't know that. I wasn't supposed to figure it out. They didn't know I was smart. I figured it out. So here, I don't know if it was, basically with all my evidence, I don't know if it was the police officers who initiated the harassment, the retaliation, and then Children's Services came in to fix their job, to make me look bad, to take my credibility. Because one thing I do got in this town, in this county, is credibility. I don't lie. And everybody knows it. I got respect. So they thought they were going to take my credibility. No, they couldn't. Or if it was Children's Services that came in and got caught, and I recorded them, and the cousin chief came to try to fix their mess. That's what I can't figure out, who initiated it first with me. So then, again, nobody contacted me. So I just let it go. But at the end of the day, I didn't let it go in the back of my mind. I was scared. Mentally, I was scared, knowing that they knew I had these videos. Because I started getting police encounters when my ex violated that restraining order. Granted, even though today I can prove that it wasn't him, at the time, I seriously, in my mind, thought it was him, and I was seriously scared. So he violated it. They didn't even contact him to tell him, the police, that I was pursuing with charges on an emergency domestic restraining order, to not even contact me. They didn't even contact him to tell him nothing on an emergency domestic, and that's a serious restraining order. So that's when I wasn't letting it go. I'm like, something ain't right here. I got all the names to them 5 supervisors, these police officers. I started doing background checks. I worked on this from the time they took my kid all the way until today. I figured everything out, to the severity, to how bad this whole county plotted on me. It was a whole county, including that sibling of mine who's a political, powerful person, my own family. So then this is where I'm at today. I went to the courthouse. I reached out to everybody in this county from that day, from December 1st all the way until today. Still till today, I'm still reaching out, begging for help. I've called the commissioners, never got a call back, got laughed at. I called that Fremont police, did the chain of command. Nobody calls me back. I got so many police reports that they're not even following up on. I file complaints on these officers that I think's involved. They don't even get followed up on. I got probably 10, 20 videos with the chief. They just say, yeah, and think I'm gonna go away. Well, typically I used to when I was younger because I endured corruption since I was a kid. Well, before I used to let it go, I'm not letting it go now. You came for my kid. Like, this is my kid. You think I'm really gonna let that go? No. So that's where they thought they messed up. They thought I was, oh, that's just Alesha. She's gonna go away. No, Alesha put her skills to use. So I called everybody. The mayor's office. I did the chain of command there. The mayor won't help me because conflict of interest. So I didn't get nowhere there. So if the mayor can't help me, who can help me? I got recordings of reaching out to every official in this county to try to help me from this abuse I was enduring from CPS. These officers were letting me get beat up. I was raped. These officers are involved. I got evidence to prove that their wives. So when I was trying to initiate like an investigation on them, nobody would call me back. Still to this day, nobody's called me back.
What do you mean you were raped and stuff?
Like, just over the years, these officers have been corrupt, okay? They've been allowing me to be like serious felony crimes against me. And they didn't care. Anybody in this town knows they can do what they want to me because these officers won't follow up on it. They don't care. Like, they think it's funny. So then when I try to take it, like, I've been reporting this for years, like the abuse. But like somebody comes and beats me up, they don't do nothing. But if I go beat them up, I'm in jail for 6 months. You know what I mean? So here I'm starting to catch on. They wanted me because I changed my life. I became a good person. I don't leave I stay home and be a mom. Therefore, you ain't going to see me out there in the streets. The only time you'll see me is maybe at Walmart or a doctor's office. So therefore, they was coming in my house to pick with me. Get it? No warrants. So they initiated this intentionally with, like I said, I don't know if it was CPS. That's what I can't prove. Or if it was the police. But regardless, they both collaborated together to protect each other when they seen I started to catch on. So then after that, still to this day, ma'am, I don't know what they put in my records. I don't know what they lied. So like I said, the allegation changed 3 times. No allegation should change not even once, let alone 3. Therefore, I can prove nobody even called and made an allegation on me. It was vindictive, intentional, and personal. Love you. So that's how I can prove it. So again, I got them all recorded. Supervisors lying, just lying. Like, they're lying so bad they're lying so bad they don't even know what they said 8 months ago, okay? And I got all the videos. So I remember, when you don't lie, ma'am, you don't got nothing to worry about. So again, everybody, these cops, so then they didn't want to give me my closing papers. They kept lying to me, telling me that we're gonna mail them out, blah, blah, blah. Again, they never took my information, so where were they mailing them to? They couldn't even call me. Still ain't came back to check up on my kid too during this whole time. All the way until July 13th. Never came back to check on my kid. Even after I reached out to the commissioners and I told them, what if I was this big drug addict? If something happens to my kid, you people are in trouble because you guys are abusing my daughter. You're neglecting my daughter. For what? To cover this girl's butt? For her being corrupt? Like, that upsets me. This girl's life, and to keep her secret from corruption is more important than my daughter's life. Because you came and stated I was an unfit mother, to where you took my daughter from me. And that's like the most degrading feeling ever, to where you never called a judge and you never came back. So who's abusing who here?
Right.
Not only that, it mentally, people don't understand CPS can do what they want to you. Therefore, if you don't experience a situation with these women or encounter a situation with them, you're not going to know the fear. You're not going to know the mental aspect to it. At any given time, because these girls don't like you, or you don't kiss their butt or bow down to them, they can come in your home and just rip your kid from you and go lie to a judge because they go with it. These judges are involved. I got proof to it. So then anyways, again, I was living scared for my life. So I want to say probably a month ago, 2 months ago, not too much longer, finally, 7 months later, I get people to pick up phones and call me back, because then I got to start threatening them, commissioners, to go public. Well, they thought because of who this public official was, I was going to keep my mouth shut, because I always got to make him look good. I always got to endure the abuse to make him look good. God forbid I speak up for myself, because I'm going to make him look bad. Well, I don't care no more. I have a kid. So then I started telling him, I'm going to go public. I'm going to let the public know. Well, this public official, that's my relative, knows the severity to the evidence I got. So I was about to start exposing them. So then finally the commissioner called me back 7 months later. Like they basically mocked me. Like, just like, okay, let's get her in here, pretend we care, let her talk, blah, 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 go about her day. No. And that's what they did. They didn't know the severity to the evidence I got. So when I showed this lady just parts of this, I just wanted to show this commissioner the 3 different allegations I got, so she can know the severity to how bad these women lied, came in my home illegally, searched my home illegally, initiated an investigation that shouldn't have never been an investigation, because why didn't they come back? To come to my home on a Sunday is just absurd. Let's start there. But to take my daughter over allegations that aren't true and to never come back, you should be in prison right now, because you're over here harassing me, calling me an unfit mother, but you never came back. I had to keep calling them. I had to keep reaching out to this agency. I just had to do it all on my own. I'm like, this can't be normal, to be hung up on, to be refused to file complaints. It was insane. Again, I got it all recorded. So then finally, they kept trying to gaslight me to think that I didn't know what I was talking about, to where they wouldn't give me my closing letter. I had to call the police on CPS 3 times. I called the police on them 3 times because they would not give me my closing letter. They would not give me my information. They would not give me my allegation. They wouldn't give me nothing. I have no clue what they put in these reports. I don't know why that lady took my kid. I don't know why they closed. I don't even know why they closed my case. I don't know nothing. They didn't tell me nothing. So I can't tell you what's on my record. So then, because they know they did some illegal things to me and they know I got all the videos to prove it, they're embarrassed. And then, like, in this town I'm from, it's very small. They hate me. And because I obey by my Constitution. So when you know your Constitution, you know your laws, and you uphold them, they hate you. So I'm like targeted as like I'm a bad person because I make them do their job. So they call me the.
Do you have your daughter back?
Oh no, I'm about to tell you what happened. I did. I never lost her. Never lost her from day one. So right. What happened was, okay, like with all the abuse and me reaching out begging for help, I got videos on every single agency here, me calling begging for help of the abuse, the corruption, like with the police officers and CPS, like just abusing me, laughing at me. So I couldn't mentally, my mind, the fear they were boosting in me, it was starting to make me, I was starting to crack. And I know that's what they wanted, but I tried to stay strong. So I went to the courthouse, because I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna go to the courthouse and I'm just gonna figure it out. I know how to do motions and stuff, ma'am. I don't need an attorney. So I don't, like, they were trying to lie and make me believe I couldn't follow a motion, that I needed an attorney. When I say everybody sticks together, this whole town tried to make me believe that I needed an attorney, because I had got robbed for $3,000. Well, now I can prove they intentionally let me get robbed. These officers, there's like any report I'm a victim to at this police station, there's evidence, because I know what they need to do in a conviction, being I used to be a troublemaker. So that, like, every time I was a victim to a crime, whether it was the rape or they let me get attacked. When I was 4 months pregnant, they let me get attacked a whole weekend. Well, the officer that kept coming to the scene are related to this family member, these families. So here he was protecting his family. They were letting me get attacked 4 months pregnant by this officer's family, and didn't even follow up on the complaints or not. And that's the severity to the abuse I was enduring. And I didn't understand why wouldn't nobody help me. Still to this day, won't nobody help me. They still didn't even follow up on the complaints of these officers.
In what way?
Excuse me?
Attacked in what way?
Assaulted. A Friday, I was, somebody slammed on their brakes, and I kind of went flying through the window, being I was big, 4 months pregnant, to where they intentionally slammed on their brakes to where I hit the window with my forehead. The officer said that that the person stated they had to do that because I don't know what they said, some lie. So they got away with that. Well, the person that did that lied to their family member and told them that I was crazy, the personality disorder, and that I wouldn't leave him alone. He didn't want to be with me, and I went and threw a rock and hit the window and cracked it. So that other family member I encountered attacked me the next day or the day after that, which was his family member. So then I was fighting her 4 months pregnant. And then later on that day, her friend and family member came to my home and assaulted me 4 months pregnant on my porch. Almost killed my baby. To where finally that same officer, which is their peer, friend, family member, came again. He was just letting these people beat the crap out of me. So finally the captain got involved. Well, the only reason they got involved because there was 10 witnesses this time. See, the other ones that weren't no witnesses, so I can't prove it because I already know how the laws are. Well, 10 neighbors were outside. 6 people called 911 to the severity of it, of this girl attacking me and my daughter and me telling her to get off me, I'm pregnant. You're going to kill my baby. So then they played me. They arrested her and made it look good to shut me up. But the prosecutor, the political figure that's supposed to be my sibling, and everybody else played it off. And this girl was charged. She was indicted for F1 attempted murder, 2 F2 felonious assaults, and an F4 or something, simple assault. She walked off with a felony for rioting. Where do you get a felony for rioting out of all them charges? No jail time, no nothing, no nothing, no nothing. I was played. They let people abuse me. Okay, I'm not like, they think it's funny. They laugh at me. So not only was I like enduring all that, like that's been my whole life is what they do to me. Right. So again, my mental health was starting to I'm starting to crack just a little, but I know like they're not going to break me. So then I go to this courthouse to file my motion after they try to deny me and tell me, they was trying to tell me different forms to get. That's how bad they were trying to prevent me to file this motion, okay? I have this motion right here. This is half of it, okay? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, you see it's state sealed and signed. Hold on, let me go up.
Okay.
Okay, so that's legit, okay? So when I went to go file this motion, because I didn't go hire an attorney, when I was the whole time I was filing it out, because I know how to do motions, ma'am, I've been doing them since I was 18. So, because I don't want to waste money to if you know how to do it, why would I spend $200 for an attorney to go do it? So because I went in there and they couldn't make me believe their lies after I recorded them numerous times lying to me, telling me that that's not what I can do, I filed it out. So when the lady went to go notarize it and get ready to stamp it, some other girl came out of the courtroom where the judge was. And she was like, hey, the judge wants to know if he could speak to you. I'm like, sure. Not thinking out of the ordinary. Honestly, I always had respect for this judge. Like, I always thought he was a genuine good man. Like, I like looked up to him, truthfully. So then when she said that, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe he's going to, he's going to sit down and be like, hey, Alesha, like, what's going on? Like, can we figure something out? Like, what's the problem? Because, ma'am, again, I'm a very forgiving person. I understand people mess up because I used to, be in trouble a lot. I don't want lawsuits. I didn't want attention. I'm the opposite because I know once the attention's on me, it's going to bring the attention on my other sibling who's a political, powerful person in this town. So I didn't want nothing like that. All I wanted was my records. What's the problem? Wouldn't you want to know what's on your record? I mean, wouldn't you want to know why your kid was whipped from your home for no reason?
Right.
But because Miss Supervisor was being protected, who am I to want to know about my child? Who am I to want to know why she was taken from me? It's basically what it was over. It was protecting her because they're all friends and family. So that's what I thought the judge was going to do. So anyways, they come out of the court. They was like, the girl comes out. I'm waiting for the judge, I thought, to talk. So she rushes me upstairs to the second floor to a felony courtroom, okay? So I'm thinking, oh my God, we're going to court. Okay, we're gonna do the motion. He's gonna grant it or he's gonna deny it. So rushes me in the courtroom, forces me like, go, we gotta go, hurry. So then I go in there. Thank God I had a friend with me that happened to be my driver that gave me a ride that day as a witness, or else I would be screwed again. And I do record a lot. So I have a lot of evidence. So that's why it's getting to the point to where I'm terrified for my life. So I go in the courtroom, the judge comes in. You would have thought it was a court case. Comes out, girl says stand up. I mean, if that wasn't a court case, why am I standing up? It was weird. He comes out with this motion, and I didn't pay attention. When they notarized it, there's no case number on it. It's not my responsibility to put their case number on it. They shut up. Well, I didn't pay attention because she said, come on, hurry, hurry, hurry. To notice that by the time the judge took the form, there wasn't no case number. So anyway, so then he proceeds, but it wasn't a court case, okay? So he proceeds with all his legal terms. And then all I remember, because I started to start getting panic attacks, okay? Because by this time I'm catching on to what they're doing to me. So I was getting scared. So he's like, all I remember him saying was, he wanted to initiate a courtesy conversation off record. Well, I don't want to do nothing courtesy off record. So I said, Your Honor, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to decline your courtesy conversation off record. So when I said that, a monster came out. He started screaming at me, told me, you better not be recording. If you're recording, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not going to be, just started screaming, threatening me. So then he looks at my friend in the courtroom. Who are you? Are you her attorney? Who's your attorney? Just starts, I'm talking screaming to where his face is. I'm scared by this time, okay? And I'm never scared. I'm not scared. So I was scared to where I froze up. To where, and then he said, come here. So then he took my motion and he threw it. So then it went flying and then it hit the floor. He said, pick that up. Pick it up right now. He's like, you pick that paper up and you pick that paper up and you get out of here and you don't ever come back here. Don't ever let me catch you back in this courthouse again. I was scared, okay? To where I got out of that courthouse and I never came back to do that motion again. Even though I can go do it right now, I'm terrified to, okay? So then after he did that, that's when it drew the line. I done reached out to every agency in this county, every single person, got them recorded begging for help, begging them to call me, begging for somebody. It's sad what world we live in today, because you don't have no help. You have no rights. You have nothing. No. And people need to wake up and understand that, because it hasn't happened to them yet. Defend the ones that need your help, because these people aren't honoring the oath they took to our Constitution. And that's the problem. People ain't educated to their Constitution, so they think that it's okay. No, it's not okay. So therefore, after that judge did that, I was terrified. So that's when I decided, mentally, I was tired of living scared, okay? I'm tired of living to where I can't sleep at night. I'm tired of living to where, when they're going to come in. I'm tired of living to where if I leave my house, what are they going to charge me with? What are they going to set me up with? So I knew I had all these videos. Now, by this time, I accumulated, on everybody. So every time they try to make me look bad or set me up to, look bad, it backfired on them, to where I accumulated tons more evidence I didn't want to communicate. Who wants to have evidence on people like that? That's scary, okay?
Right.
Therefore, I started exposing it on my Facebook, what the judge did to me. And then I just went public with it, one post and then what that judge did to me. So then I'm thinking, okay, they're going to leave me alone. Because I did talk to attorneys, and numerous attorneys told me, you got to go public. You can't just sit on stuff like that. That's why they're messing with you. He was like, once you go public, they'll chill out. You know what I mean? Because then people are going to pay attention to you. So then, long story short, I listened to these attorneys. Well, then that's when it was game on. It was bad. They started coming for my credibility. Okay. So I started to catch on to my family, and this family member of mine was allowing me to be abused. Okay. So how would you feel mentally for 8 months? You're living scared for your life. You just want to be a mom that you changed your whole life for. Everybody in this town knows me. I couldn't lie about who I was if I wanted to. I got respect in this town. And that's where these agencies messed up. They thought they were going to take my credibility, label me crazy and a drug addict, and get away with what they did to me. Because my community knows I ain't no, they might think I'm crazy to where I'll come fight you, but they know I ain't no crazy to where I'm just going to make up stories and just make this up and slander people's reputations. I'm not that crazy. So they messed up. So then it was on, I want to say July 13th. I started to catch on, and I figured out my own family was a part of this. Remember the personality disorders or whatever? I can prove right now that my daughter and doctors and everybody, this whole town and even my own family, have been plotting to take my kid from me since before I even had her. Okay, that's the severity to the sickness this is. So then when it just hit me, when I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning, it just started hitting me. Also, I started getting information because I started investigating this. There's information that I was told that my parents might not even be my parents. Like this is the severity to what I'm finding out. So not only have I been being abused all these months by all these agencies, and my own family member could stop it because he's power, you know, he can stop it if he wants. It's his employees. Why wouldn't I believe that my parents might not be my parents? After they're the whole 8 months, they're gaslighting me. You're crazy. You need help. My own family was gaslighting me and trying to make me believe I was crazy on drugs and needed help. Okay. It's just sick. Okay. So not only am I like,
your mom was there helping you with your daughter.
I thought that too, ma'am. So when I started to catch on, like, to why wouldn't my family help me? Why wouldn't they listen to me? If your child was telling you she's being abused by all these agencies, she's showing you the videos because she's got proof. When you think you would be like, hey, Alesha, like, yeah, we need to sit down. We need to talk to an attorney. Or maybe they call and try to reach out to a commissioner. Like, why are you guys doing this to my daughter and her daughter? Like, my daughter's done changed. She's came so far in her life. She don't need this. Like, she's doing good. You would think a good parent would do that, right? So this is where I started to catch on. It wasn't just these county officials. It wasn't just my ex and his family or this town. My own family was setting me up. So then, and it makes sense now. How do they know? It just makes sense, okay? So then I think it was July 13th is where I'm in the situation I'm in now. So what thought they were going to do, they thought they were going to keep coming to my house building cases on me. So initially that family of mine could just step in and get my kid, because you already know the more cases you get, they use that against you. Yeah. So from the time my kid's been born, get it? They made my kid dependent. She wasn't born with drugs in her system. Okay, so they lied on me that case. I messed up. I shouldn't have been honest. That's why people need to know the laws, CPS, because these young girls don't know. I didn't know, and I'm very smart to my constitution and didn't know. I learned my lesson that first time. Okay, so it was going to build cases on me to just eventually come in and take my kid and do what they just did to me. So then when I woke up that morning, it just all hit me. I learned everything. The abuse I endured for them 8 months came from my own family, who possibly might not be my mother, you know, or my father. I'm not saying it's true, but like, go read my Facebook. People in this town don't, like, you can call me crazy and try to gaslight me, but the 100 other people ain't crazy. You mean to tell me out of you 5, we're all crazy? So they're trying to make it like I'm losing my mind and I'm crazy. Like, this is just ludicrous. Well, if it's such a crazy allegation, wouldn't you think you would want to prove that it's not true to make me go to court to look crazy if I'm crazy? You know what I mean? Go take the DNA test then. If I'm so crazy, we don't got to argue, and it's going to prove that I'm crazy. No, won't nobody take it. They're trying to gaslight me. So this is where I'm at. On the 13th of July, I believe it was, I just couldn't take it no more. Like, I caught on to my own, when I found out it was like mentally my own family, all this, like, people don't understand the mental effect it has on your brain to know that these government agencies can just come in at any given time and rip your kid from you, and there's nothing you can do. The whole town of Fremont witnessed these officers break in my house and rip me and my kid apart with no warrant. Not one person has helped me. I went Facebook Live because I was scared they were going to come in here and kill me because of the evidence I got against this whole county, including that sibling of mine who makes the calls. He tells them what to do and they listen. Okay, this is sick what they did to me. But because I'm not rich and I can't go get an attorney, they didn't know I was dumb. I recorded everything. Might not buy him money, but I got a brain. Okay, and I used it. So I got so much evidence to where I'm okay, I'm protected, okay? But they don't play fair. So now what they're doing to me is because I started exposing them, which that's my fifth. I can say what I want on my Facebook. If you don't like it, stay off of it. You're not my friend anyways. So because I started exposing this corruption, their abuse they've been doing to me, next thing I know, I end up with 2 detectives at my door, okay? I asked them, I said, can I help you? Oh, we're just here to talk. We're worried about you. I said, well, I'm fine. I said, I don't have to talk to you. I don't have no weapons. I'm not suicidal. I'm not homicidal. I said, am I being charged with something? No, just open the door. Okay, then get out of here. Like, why are you here? So once I told him that, and he said, no, I wasn't being arrested, he should have lied. Because after that, it became harassment. So next thing I know, I'm going to kick your door in. So when he said that, I said, no, you're not. I said, you're not coming to my house. I said, you're not going to come bully me to shut me up from the corruption you people did to me. I said, I'm done. I'm tired of it. So I said, I'm going Facebook Live. So I went Facebook Live. So once I went Facebook Live, he calmed down because obviously he wanted to act like he wasn't corrupt. So I went live, okay? So by this time, the mayor was here, the sheriff was here, 2 detectives, and
Wow.
the chief of police. Now, if there was just a welfare check, why are all these big dogs here? Like, that's the severity to what's going on. Again, I was on live because I was terrified. If my daughter's life was in danger, where was Children's Services? They didn't come in here to get that right there. If my daughter, if I was a danger to myself or my child, they didn't need a warrant to get in my home. They could have just came in with Children's Services. Hey, Alesha, we got to take Zara. We don't care what you're doing. Keep exposing us, but we got to get your daughter out of here. So what happened was they know I'm smart, okay? This county does. So that's why all them big dogs were here. They were trying to come up with the plan to shut me up on top of getting my kid away from me because they knew Children's Services, they're in trouble. And not only that, I reached out to everybody for 8 months. Not only the agencies, like every official, cop, sheriff, everybody, not only just them, I called in May because I was just tired of the abuse, okay? I started experiencing panic attacks because I got anxiety. I witnessed my cousin and 3 others be shot and murdered right in front of me, okay? So it gave me like really bad anxiety. I don't have mental health problems. I'm not psychotic. I'm not psychosis. I just got anxiety. Some days it's fine. Some months and years it's fine. Some months and weeks it could be bad. You know what I mean? I can't, but I know when I need to do something about it. So by May, from December to May, I reached out to a crisis hotline at Firelands because that's when the COVID started getting serious. So no doctors or psychiatrists just want to take you. So I to initiate like an appointment to get me started to get back in to get my medication, which all I take, man, is just an anxiety medication. And I only take it when I need it. So obviously I needed it because I ain't been in therapy 3 years. I've been fine until that December 1st, till that lady came and tried to kidnap my kid, is where all my, they caused me to have anxiety. They caused that mental fear, that they were boosting fear in me, trying to shut me up. So if they're trying to make it like I'm just this crazy person that's crazy and just lost their mind or whatever, they're not going to do me like that. Because like I said, I recorded the whole incident when I started exposing the corruption. So I want to say like 3 hours, I don't know, they were here for a while outside my, out of courtesy, when the detective showed up, I said, look, I'll open my window so you can see in here and see that because I know how they operate. I know they'll come kill you and try to lie and say you did this, this, and this. So that was my fear to that day. I wasn't scared to let them in to arrest me. I was scared to let them in to come kill me because with the evidence, and that's what this town and nobody's stating, okay? They try to label me crazy. Well, I'm not crazy. I'm very intelligent and they can't handle it. So then when I let them come to my window, they took advantage of the situation and thought they were going to just sit outside my window and try to force me to talk to them. I kept telling them, I don't want to talk to you. I don't have to talk to you. Like, out of courtesy, I let you see my, go away, go. Why are you guys even here? It was harassment, man. It was getting to the point to where my daughter was agitated. Like, she was crying. I was crying. They were harassing us. There was no reason for them to be here. I don't understand why they do it. This is the severity to the corruption. They all stick together to lie. Again, all them higher up officials. This is like not even their jurisdiction. Where I live is where a little police officer should have came and knocked on my door and said, hey, Alesha, somebody's worried your mom or your brother or your neighbor. There was no cause for service. The only call for service was that mayor of ours that was trying to shut me up, which is my brother. So they stayed at my window trying to force me to talk. Next thing I know, I want to say maybe an hour or two later, my baby's calm, we're calm. Again, I got videos to every single thing I've stated today. 10 officers come in my room and bum rush me with guns and gloves on, okay? I witnessed my cousin and 4 others be shot and murdered in front of me. So if I'm in a psychotic state of mind, which they proclaim, would you send 10 men in here on me with a 1.5-year-old in my arms to bum rush us if I'm psychotic and need to be probated? No.
Who was shot in front of you?
My cousin and 3 others. My aunt owned a business at a bar, and a bad fight broke out. And my cousin and 3 others were shot and murdered in the incident. And I was there. I witnessed it. So I got really bad anxiety to cops, guns, okay? So not one time did, like, this is how Children's Services investigated a case on me. I don't even know if it's a case, ma'am, because let me tell you how they did me. This was just July 13th. I know they've been trying to get me because they kidnapped my kid and they won't give me my allegations to where the judge threatened me. So when I started exposing the corruption, they wouldn't leave me alone, okay? Again, I had went live. I recorded everything because I was terrified. They were gonna come in here and kill. Like all the big dogs were here. Like, I'm not stupid. I knew what it was. I know what I know. They know what I know. So they just harassed me outside my window. So next thing I know, it was ongoing. I want to say, like, I would get offline because they would act like they would leave. So then I would get my daughter around. I was getting ready to give her a bath. I calmed her down because, like, they were initiating stress on us. Like, I could not take care of my daughter because of what they were doing to me. I could not, like, attend to my daughter to get her dressed because we were going to go for a walk because they kept coming to my window trying to force me to talk to them. So I already knew that political figure of mine was going to come up with a plan to try to shut me up. So this is what they did. They were going to try to make it like as if I was crazy and everything I was saying wasn't true. But I don't know how they can get away with that because I got videos to everything I was stating, which is evidence. So what they did was that mayor and this judge that already intimidated me weeks prior initiated a probate order on me. An affidavit to have me probated involuntarily, right? I didn't know that. So next thing I know, I'm sitting in my room on live to my community because I didn't know. I knew they were planning something, but I didn't think they were going to break in my house like that. So next thing I know, I'm on live. I want to say like 8 to 10 officers, sheriffs. That's not even sheriff's jurisdiction here. Came bum rushing me in my room with my 1.5-year-old. Okay, my kid was fine. See, they don't know. I've been wearing a body cam because I've been terrified of what they've been doing to me. I got the whole 6-minute video on a body cam, and when these cops bum rushed me and my 1.5-year-old, cornered us in a corner, trying to rip her from me out of my arms. And I knew that's what they were going to do to me. Well, people don't know the video I got. And I'm scared to post it because every time I reach out to get help or I reach out to tell somebody, they retaliate on me. Okay, so they ripped my kid out of my arms and then ripped me out of my home half naked. I live in an apartment complex, okay? There's like 3, 6, 9, 10. There's 15 apartments in my building, and there's like 8 buildings out here. Take me outside and just sit me there. This is where everybody already knew what was going on. Again, I'm popular. They was keeping up with the story. To shut me up, they probated me involuntarily, even though after I stated 10 plus times, I'm not suicidal, I'm not homicidal, I don't have no weapons. I kept telling them I just want to be left alone. Why won't you people just leave me alone? So then they took my baby, didn't even tell me where they were taking her, didn't tell me nothing. I ended up at this hospital. Well, when I reached out to get help back in May to set up an appointment to get to a doctor, I stated everything I'm telling you, okay, to this person, psychiatrist or whoever I talked to on crisis. All the people, the situation, everything. So this man knew back in May what I was dealing with, okay? Told me I was fine. Make a doctor's appointment, So I was fine in May 11th. So how did I become psychotic from May 11th and during the same situation, the same everything, but then now he wants to come label me psychotic and suicidal? He's in big trouble. He's lying on me. I can prove it. Because when I say I record everything, man, I record everything. Counseling, I record everything. So while they're trying to label me and make me think I'm crazy and gaslighting me, I recorded everything. I'll be crazy, but I ain't dumb. So then the psychiatrist came and lied and wrote down on my paperwork that I told him I was suicidal and that I was psychotic and had me shipped to a hospital. Okay, ripped me from my home, broke in, no warrants, never showed me a warrant, never showed me a probate, nothing. I got a 6-minute video to these officers what they did to me. Okay. So then I'm being shipped off to a hospital. Still didn't let me make a phone call. Didn't let me call to place my kid with nobody. Like they're breaking they're just breaking law after law. They don't do nothing fair. There's nothing fair in none of this. So all these agencies involved, okay? So then I get probated illegally against my will by this judge who's already intimidated me. And I got shipped to like a severe hospital. They didn't put me in like a little minor one. They put me in like a for real one. To where I don't know what they gave me, ma'am, but I was gone. Like they made me psychotic. Whatever this medication was, I was out of it. All I remember was waking up. Every time I would wake up, I was like out of it. There was nurses trying to force me to sign shit, or I'm sorry, sign stuff. So I was scared. Okay, and not only am I not in my right mind with whatever they medicated me with, I was being forced into. I didn't sign nothing, thankfully. But they were trying to force me to sign things. I don't know what they were trying to force me to sign because I was incoherent from whatever they gave me. Okay, so I was in that hospital from Monday to Thursday evening. They released me from this hospital, this mental institution. So then when I come home Thursday evening around 6, 7 in the evening, I was still out of it. I probably didn't even know I was home because I don't even remember leaving that hospital coming home. So I must have came inside, went to sleep. I don't know what I did, went to sleep. So then I woke up the next day, which would have been Friday, okay? Nobody told me I had a court date. Nobody told me I was legally served to go to court. Nothing. I didn't know. I didn't know nothing. So then Saturday came. I didn't know by Saturday I done lost my kid. They took custody from me. Didn't even contact me to give me no paperwork, nothing, to none of this. So then Saturday came. This was just recent. I kind of come out of it a little bit, but I'm still loopy. So I just know, I just remember I miss my baby. I want to go see my baby. Not thinking nothing that I did anything wrong. Why would I feel guilty like I did something wrong? You would think I would have had a family like, oh my God, baby, about time, we're going to get through this. We're going to figure it out. Like you expose them, like let's move on. No, I call my parents, no answer. So I walked to their house because I miss my daughter, you know what I mean? I knocked on the door and next thing I know, that what I can vaguely remember, and again, I record everything. So I wear body cam because I've been so scared, and I know they'll take my phone from me. So next thing I know, from knocking on the door, my parents didn't answer. 3 police officers swoop up on me. I'm not in my right mind to understand, like, why are there cops initiating anything with me? So then this one officer who's been doing corruption to me for years that I've been trying to file complaints on. And every time he does like bad things to me, they refuse. I can't go, like right now, I can't go file a complaint on them 10 officers or 8 officers that illegally broke in my house with no search warrant and ripped me and my kid apart. They refuse me to file complaints on these men. So all these years, there's not going to be nothing on this officer because they don't allow me to go file the complaint because I got to do the chain of command. Well, the chain of command is my family member. I don't get past him. Get it? They shut me up. So the same officer who's been abusing me for years, he takes me, tries to make me believe in my mind that again, I'm still out of it on that medications from Thursday, tries to make me believe in my mind that my blood pressure is so high, he puts me in an ambulance. Again, I didn't even think to question why there was an ambulance there. I was gone. They took advantage of me. Puts me in an ambulance, tries to make me believe, him and that EMS person, that my blood pressure is so high. Oh my God, they got to rush me to the hospital because I'm in danger, that this blood pressure, they're concerned for my health. I kept telling him, no, I just want to go home. I don't care. I'll walk. By the time I walk, my blood pressure will go down. I said, if my blood pressure is up, it's because of you. You won't let me out of here. Like, I don't like to be closed in. they refused to let me out of this ambulance. They held me against my will, ma'am. So then they take me to this hospital again. So then the doctor didn't even talk to me, okay? But I started to vaguely catch on to like what was going on. They tried to get me pink. This officer forced me in this hospital, forced me in this ambulance to try to get me pink slipped again. 2 days after I just came out of a hospital that they doped me up with. What I don't know what they gave me, but it wasn't right, okay? So then the doctor wasn't on it. She didn't even talk to me. Next thing I know, she's discharging me, and I went to go get up to leave. So this officer the whole time was trying to tell me not to record. If I record, then he's going to take my phone. And if he catches me recording, he's going to charge me because it's illegal to record in hospitals. Like, was really trying to take my phone from me, and I wasn't on it. I recorded. I would take that charge because that's how scared I was. I knew he was full of crap. But at the end of the day, if he was going to charge me, I was going to take that charge because I was terrified, okay? Terrified. So when he forced me in that hospital, I thought it was because of my blood pressure. That's the recording I got. I went and looked at the paperwork to what happened, like what was the discharge instructions, like later on when I got out of all this mess. It states that I was a walk-in, and I told that doctor I was paranoid and severe anxiety. I was having severe anxiety and I was paranoid. Is what that doctor forged my records and stated. I'm not paranoid, and I'm like, anxiety, yes, because you people won't leave me alone, but not paranoia. You're not going to get no psychosis or no psychotic evaluation in none of my mental records. So I don't know why they picked that time to start. Within 3 days, you mean to tell me a judge is going to believe I'm psychotic, psychosis, paranoia? But the 34 years of my life, I wasn't. This is how bad they forged my records, these doctors, okay? So then she put that. And then after that, my blood pressure was like 139/85, okay? I've never had high blood pressure in my life. One other time, and that's when I gave birth. Other than that, I don't have high blood pressure. So that's why I couldn't believe they were forcing me in there for that. Well, they were starting me out to pink slip me again, to get rid of me, to shut me out. They thought. So then the doctor, like so many of these people in this county are corrupt. This is a very corrupt county, okay, ma'am? Only certain ones are. It's not everybody. So the certain ones that are, they stick together, okay? There's like probably the ones I'm enduring, it's about 10 of them, 10 or 15. Like you'll get one doctor, that's one. Like they know who to go to keep their little secret. So that doctor obviously was one of them. Well, they don't know I'm not dumb. Like I record everything. So then after I get up to go leave, he's like, where are you going? You need to wait for your discharge papers. I said, no, I don't, Christian. I said, I want to leave. I want out of here. I said, I just want to go home. Look at me. I wasn't even fully recovered from coming out of that mental whatever they had me in, and so medicated out of my mind. So then he's like, you're under arrest. I said, what? He's like, I'm placing you under arrest right now. I said, for what charge? He's like, hold on, I don't know. So then that's when I started recording, okay? So then he's like I got him recorded, trying to take my phone, tell me if, like, you can trust me, look right here, because he had a body cam on. He's like, you can trust me, this is what's going to protect us. Talking to me like I'm a little kid because I'm out of my mind. He was like, you don't worry about, you don't have to record, I'm going to protect us, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, trying to feed me some lies. Like I was dumb. I still recorded him doing that to me. And then when he found out I was recorded, he couldn't clown because then he knew I would have it on video. So it upset him because what they were going to do, they were going to lie on me and build a bunch of charges on me to where I was never going to get out of this jail. This doctor was like, okay, I'll say she's crazy, but I'm not going to put her in that hospital up there because we don't know if that doctor is going to go with it. Eventually they're going to catch on. So that's when she just forged my records, and then they had to do their own corruption on placing the fake charge on me, okay? So then he's getting ready to transfer me to jail. They placed me under arrest. Again, my blood pressure when I left that hospital was 139/85. So I'm live. Like, I'm freaking out. I'm terrified by this time. Not understanding why they're just taking me against my will, taking me places. Okay, this jail, why are they taking me to jail? Like, in my mind, I thought they were going to kill me out there, okay? I was terrified to go in this jail because I'm not going to have my phone. They're going to, they can do whatever they want to me out there. I already know I got all this evidence. These inmates don't know. They can just put me in one themselves. So I was terrified, okay? So when they booked me in jail within, I'd say, an hour of them booking me in out there for domestic violence was my charge. They didn't even tell me who the victim was until Monday when I went to court. So when they booked me in that jail within an hour, I went into a severe seizure because I was terrified. Well, that's what they think it was. I was unconscious for 40 minutes where they had to rush me back to the hospital ambulance. And my blood pressure was 159 over 106. So then again, instead of treating me for whatever happens where I was unconscious, they had to rush me back. I'll never know because they didn't do a CAT scan. The doctors forged my records and labeled me crazy. She said I had a severe seizure due to behavioral psychosis. I'm like, so here I'm unconscious and I became a crisis victim with violence counseling. How am I on the phone with crisis intervention when I'm unconscious from a seizure? They can't answer that either. So when they do, I'll let you know. This is how bad they're trying to take my credibility because everybody in this town knows I'm a very honest person. I got the support from my county, my town, the citizens, but nobody wants to step up and help me or speak for me because they're terrified. This is what they do. They bully people. They bully. So now I got a domestic violence charge on me, okay? When I went to court that Monday, they kept me in jail all weekend. I didn't even get the proper treatment. My eye's not okay. Like I can't even see fully out of my eye. I tried to call and get a neurologist, but no doctor wants to take me. They don't want to be reliable for if they did something damage to me. They never did a CAT scan. Neurologist said you could have had a stroke. It could have been a seizure. We don't know. We got to do an exam. Well, I can't even get an exam on my eye because of what they forged in my records. So then I called the hospital again.
So let me ask you a couple questions. Where is your daughter now?
My mother.
Okay.
And I have a no order. I can't see my daughter. I haven't been able to see my daughter since July 13th when the officers broke in my house and ripped us apart and traumatized us. Can't see her.
And have you been to court?
I wasn't served. They took my kid behind my back, didn't tell me, took custody, lied, and stated that the sheriff served me.
How did they take custody and how did they do these things without any type of paperwork?
I got recordings. I called and asked them questions. They lied because they can. They're corrupt. Because I don't have an attorney. They shot like my brother, like whoever's doing this to me. They think it's funny. They let me get robbed for $3,000 2 months ago. They knew I was gonna go get an attorney with that money. So that's how I know I was set up. These officers don't investigate or help me with when I'm being crimes. So they know I don't have no money, ma'am. How am I gonna go get an attorney? Who's gonna want to even talk about a case like this with no money? That's the severity to how severe this case is. No attorney's going to want to touch it unless you pay them.
So, but I'm just saying, when they came and they broke into your house, were you served with a warrant?
No, I recorded the whole thing. No, I kept saying, I said, where's the warrant? Where's the warrant? I want my warrant. Okay, but what judge? What judge is ordering me against my will? I want to see.
And since your parents have had your kids, do you have a social worker that's on your case?
So, yes. Okay, so what happened was, so that Saturday, like I said, they set me up. I guess there was an order for me not to be around my kid. Well, nobody told me they even took my kid. So then when I went to jail that Monday when I got out, I waited for somebody to contact me. I don't want to talk to these ladies because I already know how they are. So I didn't call them, okay? Well, then they took my kid that Friday. I got out of jail that Monday. So I waited. Nobody contacted me, okay? So Thursday, I'm like, I'm just got to get my recorder back out. So I had to initiate to contact that agency again. So they wasn't planning on calling and telling me nothing. So when I reached out to the lady, she said the reason that they took my daughter, I said, why is my daughter taken from me? You guys took my kid because I went and got help. Does that even make sense? No. And then why can't I see her? I'm not no health risk to my daughter because I went and got help, even though it was against my will. How do you take my kid from me? She stated because they got an allegation that somebody called, which is that sibling of mine that's got the power that makes all these calls, called and stated that I was being probated involuntarily, okay? They're lying so bad, their dates ain't even proper. Their court cases ain't even proper that they're not involving me in. When they initiated that probate, that affidavit ain't gonna be right. They're forging them all, but they don't know the proof I got that I'm gonna prove it. Everything's just wrong. So when I told her that I said, well, what's your reason to keep me from my kid? It's been over a month because I exposed your corruption, your abuse of what you people did to me. You people were the reason why I was in that state of mind. I wasn't just crazy in here slandering people's reputations, ma'am. I said, if you guys would leave me alone and let me be the mother I was to my daughter, me and my kid wouldn't be in this situation. You guys are abusing me and my daughter. They're self-alienating us. This is abuse. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to at least see my daughter, talk to my daughter. Like, what's their, and then they said the probate order was her excuse because I got the evidence against them. They don't got no evidence on me. I'll represent myself in this case. So I seen the severity to it. So then they said, because when law enforcement came in, I wouldn't cooperate. I said, well, ma'am, do you know law enforcement shouldn't have been in my house? I said, I don't know about you, but I know my Constitution. They illegally broke in my house, man. So you can't go lie and say that to a judge because they have no business in my house for me to even cooperate with anybody. But you let 10 men with guns come in your house and take your 1.5-year-old. Don't you find it sick that 10 men came in my home to attack me and my 1.5-year-old? That should be your concern. And then she stated, because when the law enforcement came in the home, how I'm holding my daughter too tight. I said, well, you're damn right. Like, what mother would not hold their daughter against 10 men? Not only that, I was scared they were going to kill me. I wasn't letting them kill me. So I didn't hold my daughter tight. I protected my daughter like a mother should. And they don't have, that's their allegations, to keep me from my kid. It's sick because they're trying to cover this supervisor that didn't do her job. So if I'm so crazy, why did they come get my kid that day? Why did they leave my kid in my custody that day for as long as they did before they came in and broke in my house? They already left my kid's life in danger since I'm so unfit for 8 months. So what was their excuse that day for 3 hours? That one time did CPS come in. They proclaimed they broke in my door and broke in my house to come probate me and voluntarily to go see a doctor. It's all corrupt. It's corruption on top of corruption on top. And the judges are in on it. That judge should have never had me served, highly medicated, in a mental institute, a highly severe one, okay? Why would a judge be okay with that? Because they never served me. They're covering corruption. So here they're taking my kid. I don't even know they're taking my kid because I'm passed out and doped up per their judge. Not only that, the domestic violence, okay? I'm not dumb. I'm very smart to my laws and Constitution.
Right.
They're doing so much corruption on top of corruption. They didn't even charge me properly. Domestic violence, to get one of them, you would have to hit somebody or, something like that. A mark or face-to-face verbal. They stated that mayor, that sibling of mine, I threatened to kill him. So it's not domestic violence, it's domestic menacing. Well, my paperwork don't say domestic menacing. My paper says domestic violence, therefore I want my charge dismissed. You can't charge me for something because you messed up. That's not my problem because I never did it. Not only that, I just went to court, and this is why I reached out to you, because this is the severity to how scared I am. They're trying to when I say I record everything, ma'am, I record everything. The court appointed attorneys, they think I'm dumb. Like, I can be my own attorney. I don't even need an attorney. I just don't want to go down there by myself because I'm scared they're going to kidnap me again. Because they know I'm going to go file motions and I'm going to get this dismissed. Once they dismiss this charge, they're in trouble. So they're stating hold on, I'm just going to say this. Incompetent. They just placed me incompetent. So, because they don't want me in these trials because they know I got the evidence and I'm going to win both cases. So now I'm incompetent. So once I'm incompetent, ma'am, they're going to put me away for over 1.5 years and just shove meds in me. So when I get out of that hospital, I'm going to be incompetent. So that's why I'm scared. I'm not incompetent. I'm very intelligent. So now I'm incompetent, and that's where we're at now. I got to go get a psych veil that this doctor is going to forge and label me incompetent so they can protect all these agencies that allowed this abuse to go on me.
I understand.
And that's my story, and that's where I'm at today. But do I have a case? I don't know. They don't tell me nothing. They just do everything without me. So I went from having my kid that 13th to where not even a month later, I never got a court date. Now I got to go fight for full custody because that's what they're taking from me. I'm not even getting a chance to keep my kid. They're ripping full custody from me because of this political family member of mine.
What paperwork do you have that says that they're taking full custody?
I'll grab it.
That's what I was asking. What paperwork do you have? I was under the impression you had no paperwork.
This is all I was served with. They did an ex parte. I wasn't included on. That's what I didn't get served with. And then whatever they make the decision, the 3 days they said they did a shelter care hearing. Okay, CPS says they did an ex parte on me, okay? But then when I called the courthouse, I got it all recorded on everybody. When I called the courthouse, that lady tells me a shelter care hearing, not an ex parte. So like I told her, you guys never served me for the shelter care hearing within 3 days. Therefore, it's vacant. This don't count. What you guys did behind my back, it don't count. Well, because I addressed that in court, I became incompetent. Get it? What they did was they have to give me my kid back. My kid shouldn't be away from me right now because they didn't legally serve me. But they're trying to say that they served me in the hospital and that it's okay. They're allowed to serve me in a hospital in that state of mind. But they never served me. Even though I was out of it, they didn't. So then when I went to court, they got me an attorney. They didn't give me an attorney for the 17th when they pulled full custody and didn't tell me or give me no paperwork. But then when these next court dates, they already gave me an attorney. They didn't even give me the chance to say if I wanted to, that's my 14th Amendment. I have the right to defend myself. I have a right to hire an attorney. I have the right to apply for a court appointed. They didn't even give me that opportunity because they took it from me. They already got me an attorney and told me I had to keep him. Only so they could file a motion for whatever evidence they need to build on me. They can't do that. But the judge is allowing it all to go down. She don't care. She's corrupt. This is the letter from the attorney that they gave me that I didn't even know I had court cases on. And it don't even say, it says the wrong court. It even says the wrong court. This is my family court attorney that's supposed to be helping me to get my daughter back. But it states for the domestic violence, the case number is on there. That's okay. This is the paperwork I got right here. It states they charged me with alleged neglect and child dependent. And this is for, it just says like the a judgment entry was made. This was done on the 28th. I didn't even know that there was a court case. Whatever this is, I never was a part of. It's notes. It says the copies were sent to the mother, the father, the grandma, the grandpa, the CPS, and the CASA lady. I don't know. What is this? I don't know. I don't ever make it this far. You can't see?
I can't. And honestly, I don't.
It just says judgment entry. That's all it says on it. And then it states the court, upon its own motion, appoints, and it says a name for the special advocate. And then it says the court appointed special advocate for the minor child. It is further ordered that it's just orders that took place behind my back that I didn't know about. And see, when I went to jail, ma'am, the dates that they're trying to say they served me weren't even dates that this happened. So then when I went to jail, ma'am, the sheriffs could have served me and told me that I lost my kid. That's where the paperwork goes. It's to the sheriff's office. I was in jail with the sheriffs. They all know who I am. So why didn't they serve me with these orders? They never served me, but they're trying to they got it documented, filed. It's lies. Nobody's ever served me nothing. A sheriff's done testified to serving me. I didn't even know court was going on. So why are people testifying? So then they thought they were going to get me an attorney and rush me to this next court hearing and take full custody to my kid. And I was just going to be okay with it. That's what they did. I got to go back to court to lose my kid because I never got a chance to fight for my kid in the first case that I'm going to prove that they're lying on. And I got the evidence. So now they know I'm coming to go to trial and I want trial because I'm going to blow them out the water in the trial because I got over 100 videos on everything and I'm the only one coming out there with credibility. So I'm incompetent.
Well, I hate to cut you off, Alesha.
It's okay. I got everything out there I needed to address.
And I do hope you get your daughter back. And I'm sorry that you're going through all of this.
I'm going to fight. I don't give up. Is there any resources or anything that you could recommend for me? Because again, it's hard to get an attorney.
My assistant will forward you a book that has resources in it.
Okay.
As soon as her computer is back up working.
How did you get your kids back? Did you have to fight like this too?
Absolutely.
So it's a fight. Okay. Well, I'm just so glad you guys took my story, and I appreciate that. Will I be able to share this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed, ma'am. I just want to get it out there.